Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for this new Spectre Operation Battle Report. Today we are doing mission number 5 and here is the board we are going to play on today. So instead of a 4x4 I've tried a 3x5 which looks pretty cool too. We have a big road in the middle that go toward this military checkpoint on the side. Here on this side we have some of the new building, not new, but some of the enhanced building where I've added some glass. Here's one of the new one, the Starbucks coffee one. We have a big roadblock over here, the construction site, a death alley over here. Then here we have the military checkpoint. So yeah, here is the board we are going to play on. The objective in today's mission is to find an enemy broadcast signal. Basically, I've set up a signal to diffuse some propaganda, and this signal is emitting from one of the roof in this district. So as you can see here, there is a couple of token placed on the roof, and one of them is the objective. I will need to have line of sight on this token to reveal them. So yeah, so before I place down all my model, I will roll for deployment, and then I will place down all my models. So to do that, I will give a number to each entry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So yeah, let's roll for that, and it will be a 6. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. We are going to start over here. Actually, that will be great, really great, because because one of the rules I'm introducing with this new campaign is the new loot system that allow me to loot card in military and police vehicle. So that will be perfect. I will be able to loot those two vehicles right away. So I'm going to remove this placement token. I'm going to deploy my force, and yeah, let's see you right after that. Actually, before I start deploying my model, I will place down on the board some supply crate, and for each mission I will do that now. It's part of the new loot system. So these are the supply crate. I will use a D3 to set up the number of supply crate that will be placed on the board. So I will just show that. It's a 1, so only one supply crate will be placed on the board, and I will simply select the point where this will be placed randomly using my dice, giving a specific number to specific area of the board. So I'm going to do that, and yeah, let's see you just after that. So that's it for my deployment. I've deployed my guys right before next to this military vehicle over here. The supply crate is randomly placed on this tile, and I've decided to place it just on the back of the military truck. And yeah, now we are good to start this mission. I've laid down the cards for my force. Actually, I will also set up the ammo token on each of those cards. And yes, one of the new rules I'm going to use is a reload mechanic. If you want to learn more about this mechanic, I will place the image on screen really quickly, so don't hesitate to stop. And yeah, I will place the ammo token on them, and I will start after that my first turn. So here I've placed one ammo token on each of those weapons. For example, here pistol have 3 ammo tokens, so when doing a rapid fire it will consume 2 ammo tokens, then you will be able only to do a standard fire. So I will explain that as I'm using the weapons. Here I've set up the enemy deck, I've set up the 2 loot card, the equipment and the weapons, and here I have the Fog of War card. So in 1d6 I will draw 1 card, in 2d6 I will draw 1 card, and in 3d6 I will draw 1 card. So that's how I'm going to use that Fog of War card deck today. I'm going to draw a bit more cards. So in turn number 4 I will draw something, in turn number 8, and in turn number 8 again, so I'm just going to re-roll that. And in turn number 12, so 4, 8, and 12. I will need to remind me of that. Just maybe make a quick note. And yeah, I'm I'm ready to get started. So now let's jump onto the first movement phase. End of my movement phase, I've moved this team over here with the silence weapons up front. This team here will loot the back of the MV, so here on a 1 to 3 I found nothing, and on a 4 to 6 I found something. On 5 I found something. Now let's check the quality. On a 1 to 5 it's the standard quality deck, and on a 6 it's something better. So it's standard. I'm just going to draw one card from that deck. And it's a holster. That's cool. Allow one use of this model sidearm outside of the combat phase. This model may still fire in the combat phase. So that's cool. That allows me to fire twice in one turn. And actually, I'm going to equip that to John McClane, since in his model he actually have pretty much the exact same holster. So yeah, I'm going to equip that on him. Now, my strategy will be probably to move all my guys on the back of this alley over here. Try to kill what's in here. Then I will try to move this team on the ladder to secure this first token. And if it's not this one, at least I will have a good line of sight on all the surrounding building, and I will be able to roll detection for all of them. And yeah, that's my goal. So now I will throw my scatter dice and a standard dice for each of the enemy placement token. So I'm going to just basically move all of them. Actually, I really also want to loot that crate and to loot all those police and military vehicles. I'm wondering if I should split this team on this side of the board. The problem is that here I have only one silence weapon. So yeah, let's stick together for now. I will move my guy in the alley, move all the placement token, and I will see you guys for turn 2. Turn 2, end of my movement phase. I've moved my guys on the back of this pickup truck to have line of sight on this enemy placement token. They have line of sight on it, so it's within 6 inches, so I don't need to roll for detection. So I'm just going to draw one card. Okay, we already start with enemies, so one thrower and one assaulter. Same thing as I always do, I will randomly select from my models over here. The way I'm selecting models is, for example, here, down here I have all my assaulter. So on a 1 to 3 it will be the first row, on a 4 to 6 it will be the second row. So it's the second row. Then I will give number to each bulk of 2 guys. So on a 3 it will be 1, 2, 2 and 3, it will be one of these, and on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on 1, 2, 3 it will be this guy. And I'm going to do the same thing for the second enemy model, this thrower, and I'm going to place them on the board. So that's it, they are placed on the board. I've rolled the scattered dice to define the direction they are facing, and they are not facing towards me, but I will engage them right away. Dante Adams with his pistol will fire at the first model here with the assault rifle, and Brian Gamble with the MP5 will fire at the second enemy model. So let's actually do that. So Dante Adams fire with a shooting stat of 4. He will do rapid fire, so he'll fire 2 times. So the first is a 8. He have a compact plus red dot size, so it's a 10. So the 10, he can't beat that, the enemy can't beat that, so that's a hit. And the second shot is at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He also can't beat that. There is no way he can beat that with a defense of 1 and without any cover. So this one is killed, and his ammo token are now on 1. Now let's roll Brian Gamble. Brian Gamble will fire in automatic, so 3 shots at -1. Actually, I had -1, so it was a 9 and a 7. Actually, it can beat maybe the 7 if the enemy roll a 6 on defense. Yep, and it's a 1, so nothing happened. Now Brian Gamble will fire 3 shots in automatic. So the 6 is pretty bad. So he have only +1 in compact, but -1 because of the automatic. So it fire at 4. So that's a 10. And that's a 7. So maybe, and a 6. So maybe he can beat the 7 and the 6. So let's roll defense on the 7. That's a hit. So the first shot touch him, the second shot automatically kill him. So here we have 2 down enemies. And actually I just noticed that now that here we also have a military vehicle that we might be able to loot. So yeah, let's see if in this turn I managed to find a bit, in this mission if I managed to find a bit more loot. End of my movement and combat phase. Now I will move to the enemy. Yeah, actually I forget to move all the enemy after my movement phase. I will do that right now, and then I will move on to the next turn, turn 3. Turn 3, end of my movement phase, my force started to advance toward the enemy dead bodies. So the 2 guys that just fire over here will reload their weapons, so they will be again at full capacity. This guy over here will loot this dead body, and this guy will loot that dead body. So we have just this guy that can potentially shoot this time, but this turn, but we have no one in line of sight. So let me just re-roll for the loot on this guy. On 4, I found something on that guy. Now let's check the quality. A 6, so it's a potential superior or high-end card. If it's again a 6, it's a yellow card, a really high-end card. So let's roll a 6. Okay, now it will be a purple card. Now let's roll a weapon on this model over here again. A 6 again, so that's I found something. Now a roll for the quality, and it's standard card. So I will draw 1 weapon in the standard deck. I can already draw that card over here. Okay, cool. Bushmaster ACR. Okay, so that's a cool assault rifle. Who looted that card? So it's Nick Hayat. So I will just right away equip that card, that weapon on Nick. So a cool Bushmaster ICR. And then on the second guy, I have my deck over here. I'm just going to right now I'm not divided the weapons and the equipment, so I need to divide that. I will then shuffle those 2 decks again, and I will draw 1 card in the weapon deck. So here I divided my superior card in 2 decks, the equipments and the accessories. So let's draw 1 card in the equipments. And it's a Springfield Armory M1A SOCOM. So pretty cool. Yeah, that's not too bad. I wanted to have some, yeah, I don't know, silence weapon, RPK, sniper rifle, but yeah, we have this battle rifle. It will be cool. So this weapon was looted by this model over here, by Louis Alexander. Louis Alexander already have a pretty cool assault rifle, so I'm just going to place that on his backpack, so it will be available for the next team. So let's put that just over here. So pretty lucky with the roll on that mission for now. Turn 3 already looted 3 items. So now let's move all the enemy placement token, and I will move on to turn 4. And turn 4 we will draw 1 card from the Fog of War deck. During the enemy movement phase, we have this token here that enter line of sight on my model behind the car over here. So I will roll for detection. I have 1 guy that is within 12 inches and he will detect on a 3+, so it doesn't detect that one. Then I have a SWAT guy and the division agent that detect on a 5+, so I roll for that. So actually I have a 5, so I detect that card. So I just draw 1 card in the deck, and it's a civilian. Okay, so that's cool. I will just take 1 civilian over here and place him on the board. So let's place him over here. Just going to remove that. So we have just 1 civilian roaming the street. So that's down. Let's now move on to turn 4. Turn 4, first thing I'm going to do is actually draw 1 of the Fog of War card. Okay, that's cool. That's nothing. It's clear, all clear, Charlie Mike. Yeah, keep the mission moving. So that's great. Nothing too crazy happening right now. I will move on to the movement phase for my models now. For end of my movement phase, my second team here will be next turn moving up the ladder, and here those guys move just to cover them, and this guy will actually loot the back of the military vehicle. So very lucky this game. 6, he found something. Now let's check the quality. A 6, so it's again a superior or high-end card. Another 6 will be a yellow card. Okay, now it's 2. Not enough luck, so it will be 1 equipment card, 1 purple equipment card, and it's a laser sight. +1 to targeting roll in first range interval, +1 target. So okay, that's cool. That's for him. That's actually he will equip that right away. There is no limit in the number of equipment you can have on one weapon. So he will get +1 on targeting roll with that one, and +1 also with the laser sight. So okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Now let's move on to yeah, I move my model. Now let's move on to the enemy movement turn, and we will be jumping on turn 5. End of my movement phase, my second team here started moving up the ladder. This second team here stay in protection. While my model are here, I will have Nick Hayat will activate his scanner. The scanner pulse reveal all hidden models and objective within 2d6 plus command radius. So I'm just going to throw 2 dice, 2d6. 9, so 9 plus command 9, so 11. So basically everything that is within 11-inch radius from Nick will be revealed, and actually this objective token here is within this 11 inches, so I will reveal that. So it's not that objective. That means that it's somewhere else on the board, but also that means that no enemy will be placed on top of this building over here. So that's a good news. And yeah, now let's move on to the movement phase of the enemy, and we'll jump onto turn 6. Actually, before moving the enemy here, those two models have line of sight on this enemy model over here. It's within 17 inches. So if I look at the detection table, my agent of the division detect on a 5+, and the police officer on a 6. So let's roll for the agent of the division. So it's a 3, doesn't detect, and here I need a 6. Okay, so we don't detect what's on that token, and then we'll jump onto the enemy movement phase and the start of turn 6. Start of turn 6, my model moved one more floor. So you have a bit more line of sight on morphing now. So this token move in that direction. Let me actually check the range. So it's within, yeah, it's like around 15, 16. So it's the same thing, 15, 16. My division agent detect on a 5+. Okay, detect that token. That's great. I will just draw 1 card. It's empty. Okay, so here we have nothing. Now my agent, my 2 guys on that building over here have line of sight on a couple of objective. So there is that one on top of that building, and also that one, but that one will be a -1 because of the whole Starbucks sign. So let's first roll for that one. Same as to roll for detecting an enemy model. My agent of the division detect on a 5+ for that building. So yeah, 5+. Doesn't detect that one, and the police officer detect on a 6. Okay, perfect. So we detect that token over here. Okay, so it's not the objective. So that leaves us with 3 options. That one, that one, or maybe the one on the back over here. So, okay, that's it. Now they still have line of sight on this one over here, so I will roll for detection on that one. The train, because of the Starbucks sign, it detects on a 6, but I will actually minus the 1 because of the Starbucks sign, it will be a 7, so it's not possible to detect. And my agent of the division only detect then on a 6. 5, so it doesn't detect that token. So that's end of my movement, and now I will move to the enemy movement phase, and then we'll start turn 7. Start of the turn 7, my agent of the division managed to get on top of that building, but John McClane didn't pass the agility test, so he's still on the side of the building here, and my second team here started to move towards the street. So here we know that it's not in that building, so at least it will be on the left part of the board, so that's actually great because here there are a lot of enemy placement token. There are also 2 of them over here. So yeah, I'm quite happy it's not that building. So now let's check a detection for that token and that one. So that one will be only a 6 for my agent of the division, and for this one, for him it will be a 5+ and him a 6. So let's first roll for the Starbucks. It will be only a 6. So we don't detect what's on the Starbucks store. Then agent of the division 5+, it doesn't detect. Then John McClane doesn't detect either. So we still don't know what's on those 2 buildings. So that's end of my movement. Actually, maybe what I can do while we are still in the movement phase is that I activated my pulse, so I can't use that anymore, but I can activate my remote pulse. So actually I double checked, and the range for the remote pulse is 12 inches, and I'm like, if I want to target the edge of that building, the edge is already at 14, so yeah, I can't do that for that turn. So yeah, let me now switch to the movement phase of the enemy, and then we will start turn 8, and turn 8 we'll draw 1 new Fog of War cards. So that's the start of turn 8. Turn 8 I'm going to draw 1 card from the Fog of War deck, and focus, trying to focus, territory control. An enemy faction enter the area from a table edge. Roll to determine point of entry. They will move toward the other side of the board. Draw 2 cards from the lowest difficulty of that faction. So actually that's really cool. So basically here I'm fighting the Rioters faction, and 1 enemy faction will enter the board from a table edge and will move toward the other side of the board. And yeah, basically the enemy faction does it's same as me, they will fight each other. So so yeah, this could be great actually if I manage. Yeah, I will first, let's roll together to determine point of entry of this enemy group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a 6. I just really don't need a 4, 5, 6. So let's just roll that. So it's a 4, okay. Not perfect, not perfect. The enemy group will spawn on this side of the board. Just over here. So I will select them, I will place them on the board, and basically what they want to do is move to the other side. So it will be probably on this side that I will try to move. And if they saw enemy, I will roll for detection. Like for example here we have some enemy placement token. They will roll for that, and they will start to engage the Rioters. So maybe I will use that as a diversion to sneak past some of the other enemies that are on the board. But yeah, let's first place those tokens on the board, and then we'll jump onto my movement phase. So that is the enemy group that just spawned on the board. I still didn't paint the the second faction, which is the cleaner. So I'm going to use the Rikers faction models for that group, but I'm still going to use the cleaners stat card, which are a bit better compared to the rioters. So that's the two cards for the cleaners and the rioters. And yeah, I've placed them on the board. Next turn they will start move on the board. And yeah, let's move first now onto my movement phase. Turn 8, end of my movement phase. This group back because I really want to get away from that street that will become like a crazy gunfight probably soon. Here this John McClane managed to pass his agility, so he now is on top of that building. He will roll for detection on that token. He detects on a 6. And here we have Nikayat, the division agent, that detects that one on a 5+. So let's actually roll for detection first for John McClane. So we need a 6. Okay, perfect. So we detect what's on top of that building. Oh, and actually it's the objective. So the objective is over here on that roof. Well, now that all the enemies just spawn next to it, yeah, I won't probably head toward the objective right away. I will probably leave the enemy move a bit on the board before doing that. And actually I don't need to roll that since it's not the objective, so yeah. Okay, that's perfect. So we know where the objective is. Now that's the end of my movement. I will move on to the enemy movement phase. The enemy here will roll for detection on that. Will first move, and we roll detection on some of those tokens. And yeah, we'll see how this ends up. End of the enemy movement phase, I started moving toward the street over here, so we'll just draw one card for that token. So that card will be empty, so nothing over here. So at least this time, this turn, no gunfight will happen. So that's the end of turn 8. Nothing new on my side. Yeah, I will probably stick on that roof for a couple of turns, leaving the enemy start the gunfight, and maybe after they have moved, we'll try to loot some of the dead bodies. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, end of this turn. Now let's move on to turn 9. So turn 9, I've placed the objective over here on the roof with the 2 enemies guarding it. I've moved my team on this side of the building. Here we have an enemy token, a Nikayat, have a line of sight on it, so we'll roll for detection. It detects on a 5+, so it's a 3, it doesn't detect that. Here my team here moved back on the alley next to the pickup. And yeah, my idea here will be probably to move this team back toward this area over here, wait for the gunfight, and head toward the building. So let's move on to the enemy movement phase now. End of the enemy movement phase, they started moving, they moved in that direction. Here we have line of sight on this token over here, so again I will draw one card. Let's hope it's actually some enemy. So, oh, okay, 3 assaulters. So 3 assaulters from that tray over here. And now we can start actually the gunfight between the rioters and the Rikers faction. So let's place them on the board. So I've placed down my 3 assaulters, and here I have 2 AK and 1 lady on the back with a pistol. I've rolled for which direction they will be facing, so it's that one. So actually they saw the enemy faction coming at them, and to select who will be shooting first, I will roll a dice. On a 1, 2, 3 it will be the Rikers, and on a 4, 5, 6 it will be the rioters. So it's a 4, 5, 6, so the rioters will be engaging first. I will roll that off screen because yeah, I prefer to focus on what's happening with my guys. But yeah, I will roll, probably they will do some, I will roll to define if it's standard fire, rapid fire. Probably this guy will target this one will target that one. And yeah, we'll see how it ends up. So just so you know, here we have a thrower. From his bag he can throw grenades, and here we have a heavy weapon, so LMG, and a couple of them have some body armor. So this one have a body armor, this one and this one have some body armor. So yeah, I'm just going to resolve that action and explain you what just happened. So here is what just happened. So this first guy over here tried to shoot at this one but missed his shot. This one here fired at that one and killed him. And this lady over here also fired at him. He touched him, but it was not a lethal wound. He was just stunned for the remaining of that turn. And that's the end of that combat phase. Now let's move on to turn 10. I think we are in turn 10, so I will move my models. And now also all the enemy on the board are alerted, so all the enemy placement token will move toward the gunfight. So actually that's great because they won't move towards me. So yeah, let's jump onto my movement phase for turn 10. Quick tour of my movement phase. My guys that were just here moved over here. They jumped they jumped on the back of that building over here. Next turn they won't probably go down. They will start to go inside the building to try to come out from the door here. Here the rest of my team moved and didn't move and placed them just simply in Overwatch. So now I'm going to move. Actually, let's roll together on the Zablan doctrine to see what the enemy group will do. So first I'm going to roll those 2 dice for the Riker, so the guy with the orange shirts. So let's just remove that. 1 and 5, so black dice 1, 5, careful, so it will be a move and shoot, careful, maximize use of cover. And the group that were just in front of them with the 2 remaining rioters, it will be a 4 and 4, 4 and 4, reckless, move and shoot, reckless, maximum of movement, disregard cover. So yeah, I'm going to move those 2 groups. I'm going also to move now all the placement token toward the enemies, and I also have my 2 guys that are sitting next on the objective that will move on the edge of the building to try to shoot at the guys beneath. So yeah, let's move that and see what happens. So here some of the Rikers moved past the barricade on the right to take cover behind it. Then those 2 guys here were trying to go behind the MV, also trying to get in cover. But the 2 guys over here, the 2 rioters, moved recklessly, trying to flank them, but now they are in melee combat with that model over here. So that's it. Now we have those 2 models over here that move on top of that building that I have line of sight on those models that don't have any clue of those 2 over here. And yeah, we have just like here the enemy placement token that start to move toward the gunfight over here. So now let's jump onto the combat phase. So what will happen is that I will first, let's roll to define who will shoot first. On 1, 2, 3, it will be the rioters. So it will be the rioters. So actually, those 2 models over here will do the melee combat with him, and those 2 models over here will shoot at the guy beneath. And yeah, I will explain you after that. End of the combat phase for the rioter. I still have the Rikers that need to shoot, but here those 2 in melee combat. The guy with the LMG over here, the Rikers with the LMG, managed to down this guy, just kick him right in the face. But this lady over here moved on the back and managed to kill him. Then here on this side we have 1 guy with an SMG that fired in automatic fire at this one. One of the shots was lethal, and this guy with a pistol was shooting at this guy over here, but he missed his shot. So now let's move on to the Rikers combat phase. And basically I have only this guy that will shoot at this lady over here. We can do that together. He has basically an assault rifle, which is no, basically it's a M4, so it's a carbine, so something like that. He will fire 1, 2, 3 standard fire, 4, 5, 6 rapid fire, so a standard fire. So he's in compact, so let's roll for that. 2, he have a red dot, so +1, that's a 3, plus his shooting stat of 3, that's a 6. So 2, 3, and plus compact, that's a 7. So let's roll defense. He need a 6 to beat that, so he can't beat that. The lady is hit by the bullet. Now let's check lethality. It's lethal on a 4+, and it's lethal. So the guy here, the Rikers model over here, focus, is just shooting that, and she is dead. Okay, so let's have that. Now let's end of the combat phase. End of that turn. Let's move on to the next turn. Turn 11, end of my movement phase. My group here moved toward the street over here. The guy that were here moved inside the building, and they started going down the stairs. Let me just move that. Sorry, that's my dog that is shaking him. So they just moved towards the front of the building, trying to look through the blocked window by the newspaper, and they have line of sight on this token over here. So I'm just going to first check the range. So they are within 12. So let's check the table. Within 12, I have 1 train and 1 professional, so both detect on a 3+. So I have 1 guy that detect that, and let's check what it is. It's empty, so nothing over here. So we have nothing over here. So yeah, let's move on to the enemy movement phase, and explain everything. End of the enemy movement phase. The Rikers here just moved behind cover. They are in hard cover, so +2 to hit. These guys over here didn't move. We have 1 enemy token that moved just on the back of the street over here, so I'm just going to draw 1 card for this token. And it's 1 civilian, so okay, that's cool. We have only 1 civilian that just appear. Actually, it could have been funny to add even more enemy to the gunfight, but yeah. Going to resolve that gunfight, just going to roll 1 dice, where I have some dice. On a 1, 2, 3, it will be the Rikers that shoot first, and on a 4, 5, 6, the Rioters, so it will be the Rikers. So the guy that are in hard cover will fire first, and then we'll see what happens. So as you can see, the firefight is over. They fired at the guy on the roof, and even though they were in pretty good cover behind the roof, they managed to kill those 2 enemies over here. So that's the end of the combat phase. Now let's move on to turn 12. Turn 12, actually, we'll draw 1 more Fog of War card. So yeah, just please no more surprise. Okay, so just some civilians appear on the board. 1d3 civilian enter from a random building or table edge. Roll to determine point of entry. So I'm doing that off screen, and I will start the movement phase for my guys. Something I forget to did is that when Brian Gamble and Dante Adams fire their suppressed weapon at the beginning of the game, I forget to add 1 point, and actually both of them are at their kill number 5, so both of them will gain 1 additional stat point. So we'll roll to determine the stat point for Brian Gamble. It's a 6, so we'll re-roll, and it's a 5. 5, it's a melee point. I want some defense, damn. Then same thing for Dante Adams. Broken. A 6, we'll re-roll. A 1, it will be a command point. Yeah. Not perfect. But yeah, at least they are leveling up. So yeah, now let's move on to the movement phase. End of my movement phase, my first group here run toward the other side of the street. They will try to go on the back over here, trying to loot those vehicles. And my second team here is stacking up at the door. Next turn they will be able to get out. Here I have 1 civilian that will probably just run away from the gunfight. Same thing for that civilian over here on the back, probably trying to run in the opposite direction. And now let's move on to the enemy movement phase. I'm going to, just move all the token, and my squad here it will keep moving down the street. End of the enemy movement phase, so these guys stack up here, but they are in pretty good cover. They are facing 3 placement tokens, so I'm going to roll for that one, draw 1 card for that one, then that one, then that one. So let's draw 1 card for the first one. Okay, 3 enemies. Second one it's 1 civilian, and third one is 2 assaulters, so 5 new assaulter, 5 new rioter just spawn here and here. So I'm going to roll all of that and place them on the board. So that's all the enemy that just spawned. So we have 4 assaulter and 1 thrower on the back, and also 1 civilian toward the start of the alley. And here they are facing 3 really armed, really well-trained Rikers. So now let's move on to the combat phase. Same thing here. On a 1, 2, 3 it will be the Rikers first, and on a 4, 5, 6 it will be the rioters. 4, 5, 6, so it will be the rioters. So I'm going to start shooting with all my guy. And actually, first time I'm going to use that, I will first throw something with my thrower over here. So let me just grab the rule for my thrower. Rarity, so here we have the rusher archetype, and here probably, yeah, thrower. So the thrower for the rioters, this is, sorry, let me re-roll, roll first on a 5. 5, he will roll a CS grenade. So actually I've never used that, so I'm going to first check the rule and see what happened, but he will throw a CS grenade to, yeah, let's probably, we'll try to aim right in front of him toward the feet of that model over here. So yeah, let's first check the rule of the CS grenade and see what happened. So let's do together the shooting of the CS grenade. So the rioter is shooting with a stat of 2. That's a 6, but he needed an 8 to land his grenade exactly where he wants. That means that the grenade will scatter. So let's now roll a scatter dice. Oh, it will land pretty far from where he wants, so it will land 6 inches in that direction, so he probably affect no one, but let's still check. So the grenade, he wanted to throw the grenade over here. Actually, let me grab the template. Actually, the grenade will land over here, and it will impact this model over here. So this guy is now affected by the CS gas that irritate the eyes and throat, and basically this model is stunned for D3 turn. So for 2 turns, here this model is still stunned, and he can fire only with a shooting stat of 1. So actually that's not too bad. So that's for this thrower. Now I will roll for the shooting of all the rioters, and I will explain you that. Okay, so what just happened? Some pretty cool stuff. So here we just have some those rioters here targeted this model here and killed him. Then those 2 guys, the first guy with the pistol missed his shot, but the second guy managed to kill this model that was stunned. Then onto the rioters shooting phase, this model shooted at the guy with the thrower, and actually when you shoot at a thrower, you don't actually when you kill him, it will land, it will drop the next weapon he was about to fire, and I just roll a die and it's a frag grenade. So basically when he dies, he just there is just a frag grenade that lands on his feet, and actually that means that there is a big frag grenade, big explosion just over here. So that means that those 3 models over here are, oh, it's a 1 inch automatically kill, I think. So let me check. Yeah, they are not within the 1 inch kill radius. Yeah, let me just check the rule on the how frag grenade works, because I think that yeah, maybe the civilian will get injured. Actually, that's not good, because that means it won't be a full victory. That means if a civilian is injured, it will be a minor victory. But yeah, let me check the frag grenade rule first. So I've checked the rule. The frag grenade within the 1 inch, it's automatically lethal, but here they are just outside 1.5 inch, so it will be lethal on a 4+. So let's roll lethality. Let me grab my dice and I will do that on this side. So let's first roll lethality for the guy with the AK. So it's not lethal, but it's a pretty bad wound. For its serious wound, the model is injured and begin to bleed out and will die in 5 turns. So that's pretty bad. This one won't do anything else that turn. Now let's roll for the guy with the white shirt. 4+ it's lethal, so this one is killed. Yep. Not trying to break everything. So this one is also on the ground, is bleeding out. Then for the woman, the civilian, so it's a 1, that's cool, but she's still injured, so let's roll for lethality and okay, so that's so this guy is dead, he's dropping the grenade, she is down and she will die in 5 turns, so let me just maybe place a token. Maybe I will have enough time to get to her and try to save her, so I'm just going to place a bleed out token on her. At least she's not dead for now, so that's cool. Now those two guys are still within... Actually, let me check. I'm not sure how does that work, because the grenade's tail, its range interval is 6 inches, but it's frag 3. Yeah, let me double check the rules here. I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, so I'm not too sure how the fragmentation rule works, so I'm going to check before the start of the next mission, but now let's pretend that these two models were not hit by the frag grenade. And that's the end of the combat phase. All the models shooted. Some of them are wounded, but since there is no medic in their faction, it's almost like they are killed. And yeah, let's move on to the next turn. End of my movement phase. This team move toward the back of this car, and the guy in the middle will loot the car in the combat phase. Those two models moved over here, and now I'm going to move to the movement phase of the enemies. So this Rikers here move on the side of that building. This team here didn't move. They will just hold and shoot. That's what I roll on the dice. We have a couple of more tokens that advance toward the gunfight, including one here on the back. So now let's move on to the shooting phase. On my side, I won't shoot anything, I will just loot the back of that car. So let's roll 1 dice. 6, I found something. Let's check the quality. Standard quality. Let's roll 1 dice in standard quality deck. So that one. Oh, perfect. A new body armor. So that's great. I'm going to leave that in my backpack because I want to equip that to probably Alani Kelso in the second team. So that's it for me. Not going to shoot at anything this turn. I have line of sight on this guy, but yeah, I want to leave them to kill each other over here. So now let's check who will do the shooting first. On a 1, 2, 3 it will be the Rikers, and on a 4, 5, 6 it will be the Rioters. 1, 2, 3 it will be the Rikers, so the Rikers will shoot at the first enemy you can see, so probably this guy. 1, 2, 3 standard shot, 4, 5, 6 rapid fire, so a standard shot. There is still a big ESCO barrier between him and the enemy, so he's probably shooting with a -2 penalty. So let's roll a dice for a standard shot, a 2. plus his shooting stat of 3, that's a 5. He have a red dot and he's within compact, so that's why 7 minus 2 because of the ESCO barrier, that's 5. Let's roll defense on the Rioter. 2 plus 1 in defense, that's 3, so he failed his defense roll, he's hit by the weapon. It's a carbine lethal on a 4+, so it's not lethal. Let's check the wound. It's still a pretty bad wound. So it's a serious wound, model is injured and begins to bleed out. So this model over here is injured and will die in 5 turns. Now let's do the combat phase for the enemy. This guy, again, 1, 2, 3 standard fire, 4, 5, 6 rapid fire, automatic fire. So we will do a standard fire. A standard fire, 1 dice, 6, oh, 6 plus 1 in shooting, that's a 7, plus 1 because of the range, that's an 8, minus 2 because of the barrier, the ESCO barrier, that's 6, so let's roll defense. 6, oh, okay, so he beats that, he succeeded his defense roll, so this guy didn't manage to hit that guy, and that's the end of the combat phase for the enemy. No more enemy line of sight. Let's move on to the next turn. End of my movement phase. I've moved that guy, that group over here with the 2 silence weapon there. I have 1 silence weapon on this side. That's the end of my movement. Now onto the enemy movement phase. What will happen is that this token will again move toward the gunfight. They will pass in front of me, so I will automatically detect them. And let's draw 1 card together to see what it is. Let's hope it's some enemies. Okay, perfect. We have enemies. I wanted to shoot at someone actually before the end of that turn. So 3 enemies. I have 3 silence weapons, so this will be perfect. I'm going to place them on the board. Then we have those 2 tokens that will advance toward the enemy. And there is also 1 token over here that will just arrive on the back, on the side here of that Rikers that is just sitting at the edge of that building. So that will be also cool to see. And yeah, let's move on to the enemy turn. Just going to move some of those tokens and yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, so here I just placed this group of 3 models. The enemy leader managed to pass his command test, and in 2 turns enemy reinforcement will arrive on the board from a table edge. Here, this model here is pretty pissed off. He just jumped on the back of this building and then we do an automatic fire at this guy over here. But yeah, let's first check. Let's do the targeting roll for our model. So basically, Brian Gamble will shoot at this guy, Dante Adams at that guy, and Nick Hyatt will fire on that model. So they fire on automatic and rapid fire. They are still their mag at full capacity with a -2 because they are behind a pretty concrete barrier. So yeah, let's check that together. For first, my agent of the division is over here. He will do a rapid fire, so 2 bullets, a 6 and a 5, a 6 and a 5, -2, but because of all the accessories, so it's almost a guarantee hit. Let's just do the math really quickly. So it's he fire at 6 plus 6, that's 12. 12, 13, 14, 15, 14, 13. So it's 13. There is no way he can beat that. So the first enemy is killed. So the first enemy of the group here in the middle is killed. Now let's check the second enemy. The second enemy, it's Brian. I'm trying to be a bit quick to not have a really lengthy video. So he fired 2 ammo tokens. He only have 1 remaining. Now let's move on to Brian Gamble, and actually also add that. Brian Gamble will do an automatic fire. I don't have any more dice over here, so let's grab that one. He will do automatic fire. So 3, 3, 3. You have a shooting stat of 4, 5 compact, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's basically firing at only 6. There is only 6 over here. So now let's roll defense on those 6s. For the first one, 5 +1 in defense, that's a 6, he beat that, so this one is a miss. Second one, it's a hit. Third one, it's a miss. So only one bullet hits him. Now let's roll lethality. Lethality, it's lethal on a 5+. Tell me it's lethal, tell me it's lethal. It's a 6, bam. It's lethal. So the second model here is also killed. So he's killed. He's killed. I had to move the dead body that were here over here, so those new models can move. And now finally, so here he used three ammo tokens. Now let's move to Dante Adams. He will do also rapid fire. So it's 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, -1, 7, -2 because of the concrete barrier. It's 2, 5. 2, 5. Let's roll defense. That one is a miss. That one is a hit. Let's roll for lethality, 5+. It's not lethal. Let's check the casualty. Yeah, it's a pretty bad wound, catastrophic wound. Okay, perfect. So we managed to kill the 3 of them. And yeah, that's pretty good. I've used silence weapons, so at least the rest of the board still doesn't know that I am here. Now let's move on to the enemy combat phase. So before, actually, I'm going to draw one card from that token and one card for that token. So first one, the one on the end of the street. Oh, some new enemies again. And the second one, whoa, 6 enemies. Okay, so that's a lot of new enemies. One heavy weapon. Okay, so let's place those models on the board. There is so much enemy on this mission. At least I'm glad the Rikers showed up. So let's place those enemies and we'll move to the combat phase. So that's it for the 2 enemy group. We have this first group here with an LMG, an SMG and an assault carbine. And then we have this second group over here that just spawned with one SMG, one pistol and one guy with a simple hammer here on the back that we just try to run at the enemy. End of the movement phase. Now let's move on to the shooting phase. I will shoot first with the Rikers model. So we'll probably shoot at the guy you see the best, which is that model over here. He will do rapid fire, 2 shots, a 3 and a 5. He shoot at 3 plus compact and red dots, so 5, 6, 8. So that's a 10, he can't beat that. And that's a 3, 6. That's an 8, so he can't beat both of the shots. So the first shot wound him, second shot automatically kill him. Oops, sorry. So this one is dead on the back of the car. And that's the end of the Rikers combat phase. There is only one more Rikers, so now let's move on to the Rioters combat phase. And yeah, since looking at all the enemies, we can assume that this Riker is dead, no matter, like, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies that could shoot at me, so yeah, let's just pretend that this guy is automatically killed. So that's the end of that turn. Now let's move on to, again, the next turn. End of my turn, so my group here split into 3 to loot all the police and military vehicle, and those 2 guys here stay just on the back. So let's roll for the loot. So here we have 3 models, so let's roll 3 times, and we found 2 stuff. Now let's roll quality. And it's a standard quality. It's in the equipment deck, not the weapon deck. It's not some dead bodies. Oh, that's cool. And actually, NVG, I don't plan to use that on that campaign. I'm using all the time the same detection table. So let's just remove that. And that's the 2 equipment I gain. So a heavy body armor, pretty cool. And a climbing kit, also pretty cool. And actually that might be really useful, because I don't think I will manage to there is still a lot of enemy around that, and what I was thinking at is maybe go around that building, climb over here, get on top there, and try to shoot at the objective with some silence weapon. But it was a pretty long ride, but since I found a climbing kit, I will just equip it right away, climb on that building, try to get on top over here, and try to lay down some fire at the objective to try to destroy it and extract from the board from this table edge. That might be an idea. Let's check first what the enemy will do. Actually, no more enemy are present. Actually, no more of the two factions are present, only the rioters remaining, but I will still move toward the dead bodies, so yeah, we'll see where they move. So here I've changed the loadout of some of my soldiers. So Brian Gamble, he placed his radio on his back and he equipped the climbing kit. And he also, the heavy body armor, it's also placed on the back to use it for a future mission. And the enemy group move towards, one group is moving over here and the second is advancing over here. So that's the end of the enemy movement phase. Now let's jump onto the next turn. End of my movement, Brian Gamble started climbing this building. Next turn he will be up here. This guy moved toward, Dante Adams moved toward the supply crate, that is a guarantee loot. Now I will roll one die to define what kind of loot it is. 1, 2, 3 it will be a weapon, 4, 5, 6 it will be an equipment. So it will be a weapon. Now let's check the quality. Standard quality. So let's draw one card into the weapon deck, which is that one. And he found, oh, that's cool, a Chris Vector. That's cool. I like this weapon, like emblematic weapon from the Division. And does he want to equip that weapon or not? Let's actually equip that weapon, and actually he fired 2 shots. And let's actually also reload some of our weapon. A Regent of the Division is just right there. He won't shoot that turn, so he will reload his weapon. Back to full capacity. This one he can't reload since he looted. And Brian Gamble is currently climbing, so he also can't reload that turn. So that's end of my movement phase. Yeah, let's move on to the enemy movement phase. Know that there are no more enemies on the board. All of the two enemy groups will move like with the placement token. So I'm just going to roll 2 dice to define the direction they will be moving. So for example, let's first select a group. So that group over here, they won't move, they will just look in that direction. The second group will move 3 inches in that direction, so just probably going to move in front of the store over here. End of the enemy movement phase, no more combat. Now let's move on to the next turn. End of that turn, Brian Gamble move on top of that building, Nick Hayat move toward here. I will try to get closer to some of those dead bodies here to loot them, but I want to have more silence weapons, so I'm advancing toward that. Here is just staying here for security if someone's come from that direction. And now let's move on to the next turn. To the enemy movement phase and to the next turn. So the 2 enemy groups started moving a bit in my direction. They heard maybe something. My agent here, he won't do anything that turn, he will just reload his weapon, staying in good cover behind the barrel over here. Those 4 guys here stacked in that direction, trying to move and maybe engage or maybe loot, we'll see after the next movement phase of the enemy. Let's do that together for the first group over here. Okay, so they move 6 inches right where I was in before, so maybe they thought they saw something, so let's move them 6 inches in that direction. Not really great. Now let's move the second group, let's hope they change direction. Okay, perfect, so this group will come back to the store, they won't look at that, so yeah, I will move that off screen and then jump onto the next turn and move my group. So Brian Gamble is over here, he's on the roof, he have reloaded his weapon, now he will fire 3 shots in automatic at the objective. So let's grab my third dice. So he's firing 3 shots. Not too great. So you have a shooting stat of 4 per. It's not in compact. It's automatic, so -1, so that's 3. +1 because of the high ground. You have a really high position, so it negates the automatic penalty. So 4 and 4, that's an 8. That's an 8. That's a 7, and that's a 5. So let's roll defense. On the 8, the objective have a defense of 4. So that's a 5. That's actually a hit. So yeah, the objective is automatically destroyed with the first well-placed shot. So actually that's great. That means that this objective is complete. Unfortunately, I completely forget about this lady over here, but with all the models, she just basically bleed out and die, and that's unfortunate. This mission won't be a full victory. But yeah, that's the game. Objective is complete. No, I'm not sure. What I want to do really is to try to loot some of those dead bodies, try to find some better weapon. And since the group is splitting, I will try to move this guy up here for the next turn, move that guy on the side, and try to engage this group of 3. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So let's move on to the next turn. So here Brian Gable moved on the edge of that building, and then my 4 other models move in cover behind either the ESCO, the MV, or the concrete barrier, and they will start to engage that group of models. So this enemy group saw my enemy 4, so let's roll for their reaction. So 5 and a 2. 5 and a 2, careful, tactical, and shoot. Careful, it's maximum. Again, my camera stopped, but here was what happened. Maximize use of cover, so they just move behind this concrete barrier, giving them a +2 to defense. And this guy just rushed toward this guy because he's a melee guy and wants just to run toward the closest enemy. So now let's move on to the combat phase. This guy will shoot at the guy with the SMG. So as you can see, Brian Gamble, he only has 2 bullets, so he can't shoot in automatic anymore. He will do a standard fire. A 2 plus shooting stat of 4 plus 1 because of the high ground, and it's also within 10 inches, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's an 8. He can't beat that, so let's check lethality. It's not lethal. The wound, it's medium wound. The model is stunned for 2 turns and suffer -2 to their move and agility stat. So this one over here is stunned. Now let's move on to the next combat. So Nick Hyatt will target that model. No, Dante Adams will target that model, and Nick Hyatt will target the melee guy. So let's roll this. Use 1 ammo, so only 1 remaining. Dante Adams will fire a double rapid fire. So a 4 plus 1. So 4, it's within the first range interval. Oops, sorry. So he's firing at 4, that's 8. That's an 8. He can't beat the first shot. The second shot is a 4. 5, it's a 5. He can beat the second one. It's a miss, and since he fires 2 shots, that's automatically a kill, and he have only 1 more ammo. Now let's do the final shot, which is Nick Hyatt. He will do a rapid fire 2, a 6 and a 4. That's unbeatable. So he is also killed. So this guy is killed. This guy is killed. This guy is not killed, he is stunned, and he will be able to fire back, but he's stunned, so he won't be able to fire back really well. All my models here, they are just like behind the concrete barrier, so -2 to hit. And yeah, since he will fire with an unsuppressed weapon, it will attract the enemy over here. But yeah, let's see what will happen. So this enemy here will fire at the closest enemy, which is Nick Hyatt, the agent of the division. He's firing with a shooted stat of 1 plus 4, that's 5. -2 because of the cover, that's a 3, so let's roll defense. That's a 6, so the defense is pass, he miss his shot, and but yeah, the alarm is raised. That means that this new group over here is now alerted and you move toward the gunfight again. So that's the end of that turn. Now let's move on to the next turn. End of my movement phase. So these guys here are now in Overwatch. I will be able to fire when this group will start moving. These two guys here just move over there in cover behind the concrete barrier, and we have still this guy that is not on Overwatch. Actually, I will place also him in Overwatch. Yeah, I will place him in Overwatch. So now let's do the enemy movement. I will start with this model. He's stunned, so he can only move 1 inch, and actually let's check what he will do. And he will, yeah, he's just basically moving a bit back on his feet. Now let's check what this group of enemy will do. I will again throw 2 dice, a 4 and a 1, 4, 1, careful, move and shoot, maximize use of cover. So, so basically what they will probably do is stack up behind this concrete barrier and sandbags over here. But I will trigger the Overwatch, so they will start to... Let's move that out of the way. So they will start to just turn around after hearing the gunfire. They saw my enemy moving, so they will start to advance. And before they reach their cover, Bryant Gumbel will fire at that model. And here we have also our two guys over here that have line of sight on the 2 others. So let me just... Sorry. Pretty hard to move that and hold the camera at the same time. So while they are moving, I will do the Overwatch on this guy, and this guy, and I will have still those 2 guys remaining to shoot in the combat phase. So let's trigger first the Overwatch. The Overwatch, Bryant Gumbel here will fire at the guy with the LMG. He only have 1 bullet left, so he will do a standard fire. So that's a 3. -1 because of the Overwatch, but +1 because of the high ground. Let's just check the range, if it's within 10 inches. I don't think so. So it's within 17, 18, so it's within the second range interval, so it's a -1. So it's 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, so it's 6, so that's a 6. Let's roll defense. 4 + 1, that's a 5, so that's a hit. Now let's check lethality, 5+. Not lethal. Wound, catastrophic wound. Okay, perfect. The first one is down. Now let's trigger the Overwatch on the 2 other. Nikayat, who have only one more ammo. So this guy doesn't have any ammo left on his MP5. Nikayat still have his Bushmaster ACR, and actually will trigger the Overwatch with the Bushmaster ACR. No, he will still use the Glock. The Glock have more accessories, so better chances. So 1 fire, 4 + 6, that's a 10, plus all the accessory. Yeah, it's automatically a hit. Let's roll lethality. It's not lethal. Casualty, serious wound. Second one is seriously wounded. Then the number 3, it's with Dante Adams with his pistol. No more ammo on that one. So 1 shot, that's a 6, perfect. +4, that's a 10, -1 because of the Overwatch, but plus a couple of things because of the accessory. It's a guarantee hit. Rolling on lethality, it's not lethal, it's 5+. Rolling on casualty, it's a medium wound, model is stunned. So first 2 guys over here are dead. Second one over here, third one is stunned. Now let's do the combat phase for my model. Actually this one, since he's not killed, he will still move until he reach his cover. And now let's do the shooting phase. So I will, with this guy, I will shoot at that one, and with John McClane at that one. So Louis Alexander will do a rapid fire. a 6 and a 2, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so that's a 12. That's a 12, he can't beat that. The second one is a 3, 4, 5, 6. The second one is a 6. He can maybe beat that one, but he didn't. So this guy over here is killed. First kill for Louis Alexander. Now let's roll for John McClane. So first kill for Louis Alexander. Let's roll for John McClane, who is equipped. Actually, he can fire 2 times. He can fire 2 times because of his holster. So I will do a first rapid fire. Oh, that's bad, that's bad. So 4. Compact plus 1, that's a 5. So here we have 2, 6. We have 2, 6. He is behind, the enemy is behind a good cover, so -2, that's 2, 4. Let's roll defense on the first 4. That's a 3, that's a hit. Roll defense on the second 4, so the second 4, it's not a hit, so let's roll lethality. Oh, that's lethal, perfect. So John McClane killed that guy, and perfect. Okay, so this one is dead. No more enemy on the board. No more enemy placement on the board. That means that, yeah, I've succeeded the weapon, the mission. At least I didn't, yeah, I didn't save the lady, so it's not a perfect victory. Before I leave the board, I will actually. So since there are no more enemies on the board, no more placement token, I can basically loot pretty easily all those dead bodies. So I will roll and I will roll everything. And actually the Rikers, since they are higher tier, higher difficulty, drop automatically some better gear, some purple gear. So yeah, let's take some dice and I will roll. Actually, I don't need the dice anymore for the weapons. So let's just do a lot of dice rolling to check all the loot that we can find on that mission. So let me just put out of the way. Going to place that over here. So how many dead bodies do we have? Let's first roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's roll for those 4 guy over here. So not so much luck, only one. I've thrown 5. So only one item from that difficulty. So I will just remove them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I found something on that one. So it's a weapon. Okay, cool. MacPool, AR-15. Okay, I love AR-15. So, one new weapon. That's cool. Now let's keep moving. Now to 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll throw 4 dice for those 4 rioters. So I found 2 stuff. Checking the quality. Same quality, so 2 weapons from that difficulty. So what do we have here? 2 new weapons. Okay, so Scorpion and a G3 SAS. That's cool. Okay, I think that in this game we just are finding so much stuff. So we are so lucky in that game actually. So let's move this model out of the way. So now let's move on to the Rikers. There is 6 Rikers that will drop some purple gear. So I'm going to throw 6 dice. And I found only 2 things. Now let's check the quality if it's... So let's check the quality if it's actually purple or high-end. On the 6 it's high-end. No, it's not 2 purple weapons. So here I'm really looking forward to that because there are some there are some great weapons in that deck. So here we have an M4A1 Sub Mod Block 1 and a Zusat. Not sure how to pronounce that, but yeah, some 2 new awesome weapons. Not silence. That's a shame, but yeah. Let's. I will remove the Rikers and then I will proceed with the rest of the looting. So only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enemy remaining on the board, 6 rioters, so I'm going to again throw 6 dice. And here we found nothing on them. And finally, before I leave the board, I'm going to loot 1 card for the MV over here. And I found something, checking the quality. Oh, and something superior or high-end, and it's superior. So 1 equipment from that deck. And it's a kneepad. This model kneel at the end of each move action, -1 modifier when when he's been targeted by fire. So really an amazing turn, amazing mission. I really love that mission, except from this lady that bleeds out. That's really bothered me. But yeah, tons of shooting. That's all the enemy that has been killed on that mission, plus the one that are still remaining down. Yeah, hope mission. Let me know in the comment your thoughts, and I will see you for the next mission. See you soon, everyone. Bye bye.